Today we are going to continue looking at volume of prisms. So remember, to be considered finding volume means that we're finding the measure of space enclosed by a solid. So think about taking an object and like filling it up with water. When you're filling it up with water, you're creating the volume of that shape. Okay, we always want to measure these units as units cubed or cubic units. So today we're going to specifically focus on triangular prisms. So once again, prisms that have triangles for bases. So I have two different diagrams here that I want to share with you, because remember, when you have a triangle, it is going to be important that we have right angles in our triangle. So say I look at the shape right here and say I did have a right angle in this triangle. Well, then I'm already good with understanding that that triangle, like this would be the base of the triangle, that would be the height of the triangle, okay? You need the base and the height in order to find area of a triangle, and you have those base and heights based off of what's forming the right angle. All right. However, say I didn't have a right angle, remember we would have to drop an altitude and create right angles, where then this entire side right here would be considered the base of the triangle, while then that altitude would be the height of the triangle. Okay, so when we're asked to find the volume of a triangular prism, it is going to be the big B times H, where once again, remember that big B stands for the area of the base. And so when we're talking about area of a triangle, remember that's 1/2 the base times the height, which is why I kept bringing up the fact that I need to have a right angle to identify the base and the height of that triangle. All right, so then the H that's in this formula represents the height of the prism. All right, so let me do this really quick. If I have that H highlighted, understand that the height of the prism is going to be what is connecting the two bases together. So that would be these H's right here. Okay, so it's a different H from the H that's a part of the finding the area of your base. Okay. All right, so let's look at this first example where I want us to find the volume of this prism. Hopefully we're okay with noticing that we are dealing with a base of a triangle. And the nice thing about this picture, notice that I already have a right angle in this picture. So once again, area of the base times the height is how we find that volume. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what B is. And so I want to take 1/2 the base times the height of the triangle. Well, that's going to be the two sides that are forming the right angle. So that would be a 4 and a 3. All right, well, 1/2 of 4, or half of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So the area of our base is 6. If I want the height of the prism, well, what's connecting those two triangles together? That would be this distance right here. They're giving to us that as a length of 5 feet. So all I have to do to find the volume is take 6 times 5. So we get 30. And then once again, our units were feet. And anytime we find volume, we are cubing our units. So 30 feet cubed would be the volume. All right, if I want us to find the volume of this prism, once again, volume is the area of the base times the height. And once again, I hope you are okay with the fact that our base is a triangle. So notice that once again in this picture, they are giving us a right angle. Notice that the 10 is across from the right angle. That's the hypotenuse in this triangle. I'm not going to use 10 in order to find the area of the base. I need the two sides that are forming the right angle. So once we find out that the side that is across from the 6 is also going to be 6 because that bottom shape is a rectangle. Notice that we have a right triangle with one leg as 6 and the hypotenuse is 10. What's this other side? Once we find out that that side is 8, because it is a 3, 4, 5 family, then I can find the area of the base by taking 1/2 6 times 8. So half of 6 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. That's the area of my base. So now we need to find the height. Okay, so once again, the height is going to be the distance between those two triangles. So that would be 11. And now that I have the base and the height, I can find the volume. So volume is going to be our area of the base times the height. So when we multiply those two numbers together, we're going to get 264 centimeters cubed. And this would be our volume. All right, our last example here. I want us to find the volume of the prism. Once again, area of the base times the height is going to help us out. Hopefully we're okay with having the shape of a triangle in here, means that we have a triangular prism. So our goal is to find the area of a triangle first. In our triangle, there is no right angle indicated to us. So if I was to draw the triangle over here, we have two sides that are a length of 10 and one side that is a length of 12. Remember, in order to have a right angle, I'm going to drop an altitude. Remember, we have an isosceles triangle here because two sides are congruent. When you drop that altitude, it creates that base, which is 12, to be split into half, 6 and 6. So that means that our altitude, once again, it's a 3, 4, 5 family being multiplied by 2. Our height of that triangle is 8. So then to find the area of our base, we're taking 1/2 12, because that's the full bottom of that triangle, times 8. Well, half of 12 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. So that would be the area of our base. Now I just need the height of the prism. Once again, the height is going to be the distance between those two triangles. That turns out to be 15. And now I have everything that I need to calculate the volume. Volume is going to be 48 times 15. When we multiply those two together, we get 720. In this problem, I'm not telling us specifically what the units are, so we'll say that we have units cubed. And this is the volume of this triangular prism. And so that's us finding volume of prisms.